Bro, you are the same age as my daughter. I know how stupid you are based on your age. Hey, what's up guys? Scott Herman here. Welcome back to the channel. So Isaiah Miranda. Everybody's talking about Isaiah Miranda right now. He recently put up a video titled, I Have a Problem, ... And it was basically about him getting his blood work done, going to the HRT clinic, finding out that he has low testosterone and that he should probably jump on HRT, which is the perfect segue into a series on my life on HRT, which we've seen before. Okay, 1 month on HRT, 3 months on HRT, my transformation after 6 months of HRT, my life now after a year on HRT. But did he really need it? Does he need it? And is he someone who is suffering from actual low testosterone? This is the root of the subject, right? So I actually had no idea about this story until Greg Doucette reached out to me. He actually sent me a message on Instagram because he knows that obviously I like to promote being natural as long as possible. Stay healthy, stay natural before you decide to do anything, or at least max out your Natty card before you decide you want to take the risk and do PEDs. And a lot of people get my message confused. They think that I hate people who do TRT or PEDs, which is really dumb. My problem with people jumping on TRT is people jumping on TRT who don't need it just because they want to run a low dose of testosterone, okay? It's very different from people who actually need TRT. And if you've talked to someone who actually needs it to function, it's very different than someone who just says they're tired sometime and has low sex drive because they're probably not sleeping enough or not eating enough, or I don't know, maybe they've been dating the same chick for too long and they just don't want to have sex anymore. Damn! Who knows? Who knows what the real issues are, okay? I don't, I'm not them. But there's a real difference between someone who needs TRT and someone who doesn't need it. And let me be clear, you can need TRT at any age, all right? If you have low T and you need TRT, you can be in your teens or you could be in your 30s or 40s or 50s. It doesn't matter, it's genetics, all right? And as far as steroids is concerned, I have a lot of friends that take steroids. I've worked in a gym since I was 14. So clearly I've seen it, I've been around it. I've seen people make amazing gains and I've seen people fall off and destroy their life with it. So as an educator, I just have my goal, obviously, to educate you guys on those risks so that if you do decide to make that leap, you know what you're getting yourselves into. But another part of that is I want to make sure that you max out your Natty card first before you decide to do any of those things, for the very reason of why take on all of these risks that come with PEDs just to look the way you would look if you train naturally for 2 or 3 years. It doesn't make any sense to me. Well, it does make sense. Everybody wants instant satisfaction, so they want to look good in 6 months, not in 3 years. That's the basis of it. But Greg reached out to me, actually sent me a really nice message, and he said, let me scroll to it. He said, have you seen this story? It's the type of video story I'd like to do to discourage the use of PEDs when you're young. So even Greg says he discourages the use of PEDs when you're young. We agree on this. And then he goes down to kind of explain to me what's going on, but I went ahead, obviously, I watched his video, I watched Derek's video for More Plates, More Dates, and I couldn't watch Isaiah's video because he had already taken it down, but I got to see, basically the gist of it from watching Greg and Derek's videos, and then I watched Isaiah's response to their videos. So I kind of know what's going on. You guys know what's going on. What are my thoughts on this? Well, number one, I didn't realize how much of an enabler Bradley Martyn was until I watched the clinic portions of the video. Like, guys, my blood was boiling watching Bradley Martyn in this video. Such a piece of shit enabler sitting in the chair, and like it came across as a big joke between like Bradley and Isaiah. It's like Isaiah's smirking the whole time. He knows why he's there. Brad knows why he's there. They're there because they want to get him on HRT. They know exactly what's going to happen. They already knew what those test results were going to happen. In my opinion, obviously, I don't know 100%, 99.9% sure. They knew why they were there. And it's just kind of ironic how every up-and-coming YouTuber or Instagrammer finds their way to Bradley Martyn and then all of a sudden ends up on a Natty or Not video. Like, what are you doing to these kids, bro? Like, what is your true intention? People like you have turned YouTube fitness into such a toxic environment, it's disgusting. Now, hey, don't get me wrong, I laugh at your videos sometimes, like when you're lifting girls up with one arm, like, haha, that's funny, that's cool. When you decided to bench 315 in your pool and then break your pool because you threw the weights on the ground. It was really dumb. I laughed at it. Yeah, so you're entertaining. But what are you doing as an educator, influencer yourself with this young audience? And it made my blood boil, guys, because I started my YouTube channel like 10 years ago, maybe 11 years ago now, back in 2009. I started my channel not because I knew you could make money, because at the time, I didn't even know what YouTube was. I didn't even know you could make money. I just thought it was a place where you uploaded videos for fun, which everybody did basically back then. There was only a select number of people who knew you could make money on YouTube back then, right? I started my channel because I had worked in a gym my entire life. So I started when I was 14, but basically from 18 to 24, I was working in the gym as a trainer, helping people, guiding them, getting them on track with their gains, and just helping random members in the club. And when I went on The Real World Brooklyn, which was a TV show I was on in 2009, after that, I was living in the city, you know, pursuing my goals in the city, modeling, acting, all that stuff. After like a year, I just started having withdrawals. I can't even explain it any other way. I started having withdrawals from educating people. So I started making videos. You guys can search for them. They're terrible. The advice is okay, but you know, it's just me sitting in a chair in my dinky apartment giving information on how to exercise correctly, and then eventually moved on to how-to videos, and then, you know, here we are today, over 2.5 million subscribers, still educating, still making videos. So that's why I got into it, got into help people. But now it's very different, and this kind of leads into one of the points I want to make. Nowadays, YouTube fitness, Instagram fitness, TikTok fitness, whatever, it's basically a game of how fast you can grow a following. And unfortunately, it's going to be really difficult to grow a following if you're in your teens and 20s and you just started exercising and you haven't made that many gains yet. You don't have 2 years, 3 years to wait to max out, you know, your natural potential, or at least get to the point to where you're starting to look, you know, towards your peak, right? So what do? You jump on SARMs, you abuse PEDs. So you can gain 200,000 followers in 6 months versus waiting 2 to 3 years. And that's really bad that this is happening, because it's taking away, you know, how great this information really is. I wish when I was 14 years old, I could go online and figure out how to exercise. I had to figure it out the old-fashioned way. Listen to dudes in my gym who probably didn't really know what they were talking about, but kind of had an idea themselves, and then trial and error. But the reason why I want to bring up, you know, YouTube and YouTube videos and the kind of content that I created was because Isaiah talks about how people are just trying to bring him down for views, because that's how you make money on YouTube. Greg and Derek are just bringing him down, and they're just talking shit about him. Everything is not true. He's 100% natural, and they're just talking shit about him to bring him down because that's what pays the bills. Well, let me tell you a little secret about YouTube. Those types of videos don't really pay the bills, okay? They don't keep the lights on. You will make money on those videos, but the videos that are on current topics, they pretty much peak and then die off, all right? So a video like that might get 100,000, 200,000, maybe 300,000 views, which is a lot of views, but then it dies off and you don't make any more money from those videos. I could quit YouTube today and still have a huge sum of income coming in from YouTube, because my original content, even content I create now, my educational content is constantly gaining views. Look at my how-to playlist. Millions upon millions upon millions of views, and they continue to gain millions upon millions of views because my videos are embedded in websites all across the internet, all across the world. People reach out to me all the time with their fitness apps wanting to embed my how-to videos in there for educational purposes, and I say, sure, just make sure you embed the YouTube video, you don't download it and upload it. And because of that, my channel is always growing, always gaining a specific amount of views, and anything I do after that, you know, is great. It brings in more money. And the reason why I'm saying that is because at least I thought it was made very clear from Derek and Greg's videos that they weren't even really trying to tear him down. They were just trying to educate their audiences on his situation, basically just calling bullshit where it's really easy to call bullshit from, right? When Greg messaged me, before I even watched the videos, Greg was talking about how when he abused PEDs, and he mentions this, that his testosterone levels plummeted to like 40 nanograms per deciliter. That's after abusing PEDs. Isaiah, and think about this, has 21 nanograms per deciliter. His free testosterone is 2. And if you look at his Instagram profile, and you can scroll back, I don't know, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, just keep scrolling. Very consistently looks phenomenal. Nobody can take that away from you, Isaiah. You put the work in, you look phenomenal. But don't sit here and try to tell people that are way more educated than you, okay, have experienced life and all the bullshit that comes with it. Don't try to sit here with a smile on your face saying that we're haters and that you are 100% natural looking the way you do with a testosterone level of 21 nanograms per deciliter. Like, maybe if you were at the clinic and you looked like absolute dog shit for the last month, we could be like, oh, maybe something's going on with him. But dude, all your photos, you look amazing. Even on Christmas, you look amazing. And that's you around 21 nanograms per deciliter. It doesn't happen that way. The only way you were able to maintain that type of mass is if you were abusing PEDs or SOMs. And one of the interesting things that Greg and Derek both talk about a lot is that if you're abusing SOMs, it's going to purposely drop your natural testosterone levels, right? They're going to go down. Your body's going to stop producing as much testosterone because you're getting it from somewhere else. Because of that, it's almost like you were able to trick the system. And you have obviously an amazing influence in your life, Bradley Martyn. So you go to the clinic already knowing, that's why you're both joking and having a great time while you're there. You're not worried. If it was me and I thought my test levels were low, I'd be extremely worried. You guys could give two shits because you already know what the doctor's going to say. Abuse SARMs. Here's the process. Abuse PEDs or SARMs, right? Go to the clinic, get your blood work done, have the clinic tell you how low your testosterone is, jump on HRT to fix your low testosterone, and now you have a lot more content you can create about your journey on HRT, TRT, whatever you want to call it, and now you get it from a clinic. And you can say it's safe and legal and all the other bullshit that everybody says when they jump on clinics to do HRT, TRT. So it's very clear what path you're trying to go down because other YouTubers are already doing it. And I'm sorry, guys, I know you don't want to hear it. I know you're going to think it sounds like that I'm complaining or I'm talking smack. At the end of the day, like I said in the video, there are people who actually need to go to a clinic to get testosterone, and there are people who just want to do it because they want to look a certain way. And if that's you, just admit it. We don't care. We're only making a big deal out of this because you're consistently lying about it and being so defensive that you're insulting people who actually want to help you. Greg made it very clear in his message to me that you need to do PCT or go see an endocrinologist because if you are truly natural and your testosterone levels are that low, you could have cancer or a tumor and you could die. That doesn't sound like somebody who's tearing you down because they just want views. It sounds like someone who's concerned. And to be honest, I'm concerned too because you're young. You're 21 years old. My daughter just turned 21 years old on January 1st. We actually took her out to a club, her first club experience being 21 for her birthday. Bro, you are the same age as my daughter. And I have been in her life since she was 11, parenting her. I know how stupid you are based on your age because I have a kid your age. I know what you see. I know what influences you. I know the shit your friends talk about because my daughter is your age, okay? You're not fooling anyone. We just want to see you being healthy. We want to see you making the right decisions. And if you want to make fitness like a part of your career and you want to do this for a very long time, you're at a crossroads point right now where you need to decide who's going to be an influence in your life. I don't think your boy Bradley has your best intentions in mind. I think Bradley has Bradley's best intentions in mind, which is why he's constantly bringing in all these up-and-coming Instagrammers and YouTubers so he can ride their coattails to keep himself relevant. At the end of the day, Isaiah, I mean, you're gonna probably keep lying through your teeth, and I'm really disappointed because you could have used this as an educational opportunity in a way that I never could. I've never done steroids. I've never done SOMs. I'm not going to a TRT clinic right now. So I can talk about these things, but I don't have any personal experience with it. You, on the other hand, in my opinion, abuse SARMs or abuse steroids. Whatever you did, you abused something that got your test levels so low that if you weren't under so much peer pressure to look a certain way, right? I mean, that's all Instagram is now. It's peer pressure to look a certain way to gain followers. It's not about educating. It's just about posting things that get likes and views and comments and shares. But because you're going through this right now at your age, that makes you, number one, experienced with what's happening. Number two, it makes you relatable. You are relatable to kids your age, also kids a little older than you, kids a little younger than you. And they will listen to what you have to say. So if you're going to take any advice from anyone, tell Bradley Martyn to go sit down, put his hat on, and just shut up for a minute and really think about the kind of man you want to be moving forward. Do you want to continue down this path of lying? Because nobody believes you. Do you want to continue down this path of lying? Or do you want to take the high road, become a man, and own up to your bullshit, but then use that as a platform to educate people who want to be like you? Everybody wants to be like you. Shit, I want to be like you. Looking shredded 24/7, constantly gaining Instagram subscribers, growing like crazy. You are in a growth stage right now. This is a perfect opportunity, but you're at a crossroads, and it can go one way or the other. But the only person who should be deciding that is you. And at 21 years old, yeah, you're still kind of a dumb kid, but you should be smart enough to know what the right decision is. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to tap that like button. Drop a comment for the YouTube algorithm, even though it won't do anything because, well, I'll make a video about that later. It's a very interesting one on how YouTube is doing some shady things they shouldn't be doing with my channel. But like I said, we'll talk about that later. Have a great day, guys. Stay safe. Isaiah, make the right decision, bro. You got to make the right decision. See you guys.